the establishment is clearly fully back in control. Di Dongsheng must be thrilled that his friends on the inside in Washington have now regained control. I imagine it was way more than 2 stacks that made this happen. But let's begin with Hillary Clinton and Pelosi having a quick chat about what they're going to do, what they think should happen.
The unflushable turd.
Yes.
We learned a lot about our system of government over the last 4 years with a president who disdains democracy and, as you have said numerous times, has other agendas. What they all are, I don't think we yet know. I hope historically we will find out who he's beholden to, who pulls his strings. I would love to see his phone records to see whether he was talking to Putin the day that the insurgents invaded our capital. But we now know that
That's right. He's on the
not just him, but his enablers, his accomplices, his cult members have the same disregard for democracy. Do you think we need a 9/11 type commission to investigate and report everything that they can pull together and explain what happened?
I do. Let me, again, to your point of who is he beholden to, as I've said over and over, as I said to him in that picture with my blue suit,
right,
as I was leaving, what I was saying to him as I was pointing rudely at him, with you, Mr. President, all roads lead to Putin. I don't know what Putin has on him politically, financially, or personally. But what happened last week was a gift to Putin because Putin wants to undermine democracy in our country and throughout the world. And these people, unbeknownst to them maybe, are Putin puppets. They were doing Putin's business when they did that at the incitement of an insurrection by the President of the United States. So yes, we should have a 9/11 commission,
there, John.
and there's strong support in the Congress to do that.
Because,
I mean,
they are never ever going to get over it, are they?
Well, what would satisfy them as evidence at this point? If
they've had the investigation,
3 long years, everything they could do, and loads of people around Trump got nailed for things that were not what they were looking for, but they'd found some, some kind of corruption. They managed to nail them down on, but yet nothing on Trump, no connections to Russia or Putin, and they will just still say it. They'll just it's like it's in their minds. It's like they're obsessed with it.
Like if Trump got his day in the Supreme Court, they went through the whole process, explained every suspicious instance throughout the election, and 3-4 years later he was still arguing it, I'd have the same response. Get over
shut
yourself.
up.
But that hasn't what happened. But you have had the Russia investigation. Is he on the phone to Putin while people are breaking into the Capitol? Are you off your rocker? Like, he's never going to have sex with you. Get over it. It's done. Like, you're never going to meet him again. Jesus, woman.
Putin might go for it. He strikes
for Hillary.
Me. Yeah, he strikes me as the sort.
Putin's got better options.
They're not about better options. It's about connections.
What do you think he's?
Well, imagine. No, let's not get into. We're going off topic.
You start making jokes about QAnon.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. Right. Okay. So, So the mindset of people like Pelosi and Hillary Clinton are completely insane, and Biden appears to be threatening a flurry of activity to essentially restore the status quo before the Trump usurpation of his rightful throne. BBC tell us that in the hours after Mr. Biden sets foot in the White House, he will embark on a blitz of executive actions designed to signal a clean break from his predecessor's administration. Among the orders planned after taking office are a US return to the Paris Climate Agreement, which is the Global Compact on cutting carbon emissions, repealing the controversial travel ban mostly on Muslim-majority countries that came from the Obama administration.
Yeah, the Obama-Biden administration were the ones who proposed that.
Yeah.
And then Trump, because you remember this was very early on in his administration, implemented Biden's policy.
Yep.
And now Biden's saying, we're going to take that back because it's evil.
Yep.
Why'd you propose it then?
Yep. It's the same thing with the illegal immigrants as well. But we'll get to this. He's going to mandate the wearing of masks on federal property when traveling interstate. I don't know. I assume he can do it on federal property. I don't know about traveling.
Wait, so if I cross state lines, I have to wear a mask, but if I don't, I don't.
I guess so. An extension to nationwide restrictions on evictions and foreclosures due to the pandemic, and executive orders are just apparently one part of his ambitious plan for his first 10 days in office. Of course, he's offering more money, which is not nearly enough. Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Robespierre, has said that the $1,400 payment that Biden's relief plan has promised, his $2 trillion relief plan, has promised, is not enough because it's not $2,000, it's $1,400. I guess
Why
she
2,000?
doesn't.
Why not 4,000?
Well, the thing is, like, they got 600, and so Biden's promising an extra 1,400 to make it 2,000.
But I know 2,000 came from Trump because he was like, get rid of all your foreign
Yeah,
spending,
yeah.
and we'll just give everyone 2,000.
Yeah, but they only got 600.
But they've not gotten rid of the foreign spending. They want to.
Yeah, but the average American only got $600, and so she's like 2,000 means 2,000. It's like, yes, but 1,400 plus 600 also means 2,000. You absolute illiterate. But it doesn't matter because soon the money is just going to be paper anyway. So as you say, just give them tens of thousands. Give them $15,000. Why not? You know, I mean, like Joe Biden's going to have a try to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour from the current $7.25. So more than doubling the minimum wage.
So that's just supporting unemployment.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there's
insane.
nothing else there.
That's insane. I mean,
Fire everyone at McDonald's, replace them with robots.
But
Okay, sure. It makes it easier for me, but
sure, but like in light of the pandemic as well. So millions of people have lost their jobs. Tens of thousands of businesses have gone under. And Joe Biden's like, hi, I'm here to make business more difficult. You know, how about you pay more than twice the amount to your staff? I mean, you know, this is a business I run. And if I was told I had to pay, yeah, exactly. Right. If I was told, hey, there's a non-union clause in your contract. If I was told I had to pay everyone double the amount, then I would have half the staff.
Yeah.
There's just economic reality. There's just no way around it. And so, okay, Joe, thanks for putting more people out of work. That's what that is going to do. And
I see a lot of leftists promoting this as if it's something true.
Yeah.
I'm sure AAs will be in agreement. Like, one of the most fundamental things you can understand about minimum wage laws is it just harms employment. That's it.
yeah. And not only that, it's also, again, a kind of almost imperial view from the cities, because in cities, when you have a high concentration of people, prices go up because demand is higher and supply is lower for everything, right? For, you know, food, for rents, for anything that you do, right? But if you go into the rural areas, you find that prices are a lot lower. And I actually had an example of this years ago, where I'd gone from London to North Wales to go with my friends to go and climb Mount Snowden, and I was shocked to find that the same packet of biscuits in North Wales was literally half the price than it was in London. It was like £1.29 in London and like 60p in North Wales. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. In the very same country, I can travel like 4 hours or whatever it is, and the price goes down by half. So I'm sure that in the cities, like a $15 an hour minimum wage seems reasonable, but out
Montana?
in Montana, where everything is cheaper anyway, and, you know, there's less demand and things like this, like, you know, it doesn't fit. And it doesn't mean that these people are going to have good lives, right? It does, and that's what this is all about. Making sure that people are not, you know, I mean, they literally say nobody working 40 hours a week should be living below the poverty line. But if everything around you is cheaper, if your rent's cheaper, if your food's cheaper, if, you know, your fuel is cheaper, if your cars are cheaper, whatever it is, then you're not living below the poverty line.
You don't notice that anyone working 40 hours a week should not be living below the poverty line. So what's the solution here by raising the minimum wage? We're going to stop a whole bunch of people working 40 hours a week.
So they'll just be dependent on the government.
Great. I mean, you've solved the problem then. The people who are left working 40 hours a week will be above the poverty line.
Yeah.
Those who got deployed out of it, fuck them.
Well, those people get gibs from Imperator Biden. Yeah. And of course, this also means that Joe Biden plans to give citizenship to illegal immigrants, millions of them. Now, there's an estimate, and this is quite an old estimate, it's from a few years back, that it's 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States. I don't think that's an accurate number, in the same way that they make population estimates over here. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 times this amount. And so this will be millions and millions of more Democrat voters, I presume.
Yeah, he didn't have enough the first time. He
I
wants
guess
to be more
not.
popular.
Yeah,
so.
it was exactly. It's just the right thing to do. But yeah, so all of these people will presumably be getting $15 minimum wage or $2,000 out of the taxpayer fund. So good news. And I love the way that they put this. This really does represent a historic shift from Trump's anti-immigrant agenda that recognizes all of the undocumented immigrants that are currently in the United States should be placed in the path of citizenship. Well, also marks a break from Obama's policy of border cages and deportations, which Trump inherited and just continued. So weird.
It's also a nice, departure from law and order.
Oh,
just
yeah.
if you've broken the law, Never mind.
It's okay. It's okay. We forgive you. You are a noble, undocumented immigrant. Not
As if that makes you something moral.
yeah. No.
Like you've broken into someone else's country, or you're so nice.
I know.
Like,
I
no,
can't
I'm sorry.
imagine. Like if I like illegally settled in another country, and they were like, right, we caught you, we're going to deport you. I'd be like, huh, fair play. I mean, I did break the rules. I was taking advantage without paying taxes. I was claiming all of these benefits I'm not really entitled to. Like,
But even then, you just don't have any right to someone else's country.
of
Like
course
if you
not.
just turned up in Russia without a visa, like let me in.
yeah, Gibbs,
Sod off.
Gibbs.
But even if it wasn't Gibbs, just I want to live here. No, like this is our country. Go away.
Why didn't you follow the rules then? If you actually liked and respected this country, you'd follow the rules.
My borders, my choice.
Exactly. So Biden's going to continue after giving millions and millions of illegal immigrants citizenship. He then plans to activate FEMA and the National Guard to vaccinate Americans. I mean, that sounds terrifying to me. The National Guard are going to break in and be like, right, you're coming to the FEMA camp so you can be forcibly indoctrinated. Vaccinated.
How does everything Alex Jones say come true?
I don't know. But he was going on about these FEMA camps and vaccinations for a long time. And Biden's like, that's a good idea. Go on.
The Biden administration's got to stop watching InfoWars.
They do. And they've got to remember that what Alex Jones was describing was the position of the villain, right? The villain of the piece does this. The hero doesn't do this. But anyway, Biden has said Friday they'll activate the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the National Guard to help get COVID-19 vaccines to millions of Americans. He said that his top priority will be making sure that 100 million COVID-19 vaccine doses in his first 100 days of office. That would be 50 million Americans, because each vaccine requires 2 doses. You have my word, we will manage the hell out of this operation. And that's going to be the ethos going forward. They're going to manage the hell out of you, the American people. This is what they're doing with the inauguration. This is what they're doing with Washington. This is what they're going to be doing with the illegals. This is what they're going to be doing with you. They want to manage you. This is European style, central planning, overt and overreaching bureaucracy, and Biden is totally in favor of it. And the sort of people that he's going to be putting into his cabinet, we covered one the other day who is a
Black nationalist.
I was going to say a black racial realist, like
Well, I
black
suppose
supremacist.
black supremacist is actually better, because I don't think she's asking for a separate state. She's just saying that
Black people are better than whites. Yeah. Just,
very moderate.
yeah. Josh did an amazing article, because this happens to be part of his field of expertise. And he did an amazing article on Lotus.com debunking the claims of black supremacy from Joe Biden's appointment. But there's not just going to be one rabid SJW, racial supremacist. There are going to be lots. The new Senate Banking Committee chairman will be Democrat Sherrod Brown, who said his top priorities for Wall Street will be focused on addressing systemic racism and climate change.
Yeah, the real business of business.
Yes.
Racism and climate change. Not making money.
Yeah.
That's not important.
And I mean, I don't care about Wall Street at all. I'm not interested in defending them, but I'm also not interested in seeing social justice conquer every major institution. We're going to view everything we do through the dignity of work and through a climate lens and through a racial justice lens. For all those people like, oh, it's just SJWs on Tumblr, it's not going to go anywhere. There we go.
Just SJWs in charge of the government.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere.
It's just SJWs in charge of the Federal Reserve. It's not going to go anywhere. Like, sorry, how much higher does this need to get?
Like they're just in charge of all speech online. It's not going to go anywhere. Like
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everyone.
it's just a FEMA camp.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm joking.
Hey, you're joking now, but in a year's time. But the point is, those people who are essentially denialists have been proven wrong. That all of this has come to pass precisely as I predicted that it would.
I mean, anyone reading Joe Biden's manifesto could tell this. We went through it.
Oh, he's got a
while
racial
back.
justice part.
Yeah, it was like, there's no way this moron wrote this. Like he may know a few
of
talking
course.
points, but he hasn't written all of this. And when you read through it, you just know that the people in charge behind him are all just rabid SJWs.
Yeah.
Like the way they write things, the way they discuss what the problems are in the world.
Yeah, the way, exactly. The way they lay it out indicates their thinking. And what's interesting, though, what I find interesting, is the way that the media are going after social media. The media has finally realized that, hang on, social media is actually a terrible, terrible tool that undermines our power. Because one Mika Brzezinski was having a chat with Joe Scarborough. Now, Mika Brzezinski is interesting. The daughter of Zygmunt Brzezinski, the chap who took the Americans into Afghanistan. she had a kind of Freudian slip a few years back where she was saying how Trump's Twitter was allowing him to say things that he was controlling the way they think, the way people think. And she literally said, "That's our job."
Yeah.
And it was like, really? And that's the context in which I think we can watch these two short clips.
Because Facebook's algorithms were set up to cause this sort of radicalism to explode, guess what happened? Their likes exploded. The people following them exploded. So you actually had Facebook and Twitter set up their business models in a way that would lead to the insurrection against the United States of America. It is on them.
Facebook's business model caused an insurrection in the US, did it? Did it, Joe? Okay.
The printing press caused insurrection in the newly formed United States.
Well, that's
the same argument.
Exactly. The printing press caused insurrection against the Catholic Church. It's like, no, the Catholic Church's lies caused the insurrection. And it's exactly the same here. But anyway, let's see Mika really giving it to Facebook.
I mean, really, honestly, the leadership at Facebook is pathetic.
They're
Sheryl
shameful.
Sandberg, Mark
Totally
Zuckerberg,
agree.
you guys are pathetic. You make absolutely no reason about your actions. You could have done this a long time ago. You decided to do it now. I wonder who's going to be president now. Maybe this will make him happy. No, you've just shown him why you need to be shut down. You need to be shut down. Nobody needs what you have to offer. You have destroyed this country, and quite frankly, it's still happening right now.
Well, and not just destroyed this country, destroyed democracies across the globe.
I'm sorry, one more thing. They're little Sheryl Sandberg, and we're going to get better. We're trying hard. We're working so hard. What? Who are you to say that? Follow the law. Follow the law that publishers have to follow. Follow the restrictions that anybody has to follow when they put something out in the public domain.
Based.
Exactly, right?
Shut him down.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Did you say her dad was funding the Taliban, or he was?
Oh no, he was part of the intelligence apparatus, I believe, and he funded or partially funded and organized the Taliban insurrection against the Russians.
So moral character.
Oh yeah,
as his daughter.
There's a great clip of him saying he's speaking to the Mujahideen, and he's saying, you will get your country back by God as your witness. It's
Afghanistan first.
No, literally, yeah. But I, and in the context of her, the Trump's social media is enabling him to make people think what they don't want them to think.
Yeah.
You can see that.
She understands what psyops are and the fact that they're working against the American people to guide them into their worldview.
Absolutely,
so she's a smart character.
Yeah, absolutely, and she knows that the ability for Americans to be able to discuss things that are outside of their control.
That's the threat.
Yeah, exactly. That's the threat. How dare you think things of which we don't approve? And if you do that, even Facebook should be shut down. Facebook. I mean, it's like, okay, go on then. I'm not going to defend Facebook. Screw them, But
they've been nothing but horrible to everyone on the center to the right for years now.
Yeah.
So it's that thing of who's going to defend you.
Yeah, exactly.
The leftists. Well, the leftists are calling for you to be shut down, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
The institutional power structures, like MSNBC is like, there's a kind of central pillar of the cathedral, and MSNBC is one part of that pillar, and they're going after you. So yeah, I mean, sorry. But the final thing that I want to cover is Trump's pardons. Now, these are apparently due to be announced today, more than 100 of them, and I don't know who it's going to be. So the theories are that it's going to be Rudy Giuliani, Steve Bannon, and Little Wayne, who's apparently going to be pardoned. Which don't get me wrong, I think that's great.
What's his crime?
He was charged with illegal weapons possession in New York.
Why does he deserve a pardon? Just because he's funny?
Well, because he was a Trump supporter.
That's it.
Well, why
that's
not?
A bit naked.
Well, sorry, the opposition being like, oh, well, we need to be fair and balanced about this.
Yeah, the opposition are worse.
Yeah, and the question was, could Trump pardon himself? And it's like, well, probably not, because, there are a few questions.
Where's Assange, though?
Well, I'll get to that in a second.
Sorry.
Well, the question of Trump pardoning himself is an interesting one, because A, that implies that he's done something wrong, which I don't think he has. I mean, I genuinely, after years of investigation into him and the most microscopic examination of every moment of his life, he seems to have come out okay. he's not accused of doing anything really.
Well, even this incitement thing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're now actually saying we don't really want to try him on criminal grounds because we'll lose.
Yes. Because he obviously wasn't inciting. And the bar for incitement was set by the Supreme Court quite a while ago because the KKK were allowed to walk through like a black neighborhood or something, do a march through a black neighborhood back in the 50s or whatever it was. And the Supreme Court said this is not incitement to violence. And it's like, wow, okay, that's pretty... No, I agree. I agree. But like in the light of what is being called incitement to violence, like that's a very proper standard, frankly. You know, it's not incitement to violence. I agree. And so, yeah, nothing Trump said approaches that standard. But the point is, Trump would be kind of implicating himself in having done something wrong if he pardons himself, which, again, I don't think he
pardon
has.
myself of something I don't believe I've done.
Exactly, you shouldn't do that. But not only that, then it raises the question of the legal principle of a man being a judge in his own case. Trump shouldn't be able to pardon himself because you should be able to judge your own case.
And let's say a future president, Biden, does something wrong.
Exactly. And, perish the thought. But, you know, imagine Joe Biden and his family doing something wrong.
He's found guilty of corruption with the Chinese. I'll just pardon myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad precedent.
Exactly. But yeah, so the question is, will Assange get a pardon? And I can't imagine that Trump is not aware that there is a huge groundswell of opinion to get Trump to pardon him. And of course this means Snowden and
Julian
Manning.
Assange.
Yeah, but as well, the three big ones are Assange, Snowden, and Manning, right?
Yeah.
And Bill Barr has apparently already stepped in, and the only pardon he made an effort to preemptively stop was for Edward Snowden, which I don't like, frankly. The deep state, the intelligence apparatus of the United States will never forgive Snowden because they see him as being a traitor.